So what's this video all about then? This speed business? Well, basically, we're going to look at why we go fast, why some people are faster than others, how we go fast, and what the future holds for speed. This will mainly involve me going in a selection of very fast and dangerous machines and feeling sick a lot. Enjoy. We begin with something absolutely pointless. Now, I'm standing at the moment on a glacier, and there's no way I'm going to ski down it in conditions like these. I mean, it's snowing. So what I'm going to do is something that's never been attempted before. I'm going to take the car. They've given this car four-wheel drive and anti-lock brakes, and here I am doing everything in my power to kill myself. So why am I doing it? That's because I can, because it's exciting. Oh, you show off. You want to race, do you? Right. I'll show you what showing off is, mate. Better luck next time, mate. But what really made us want to do this? Why do we have a need for speed? To try and understand this need for speed, I've come here to New Zealand. Look at it. It's an achingly beautiful place, and yet all anyone seems to do here is dream up new and exciting ways of killing themselves. There's bungee jumping, obviously, and then there's this, the ridiculous Zorb ball. And of course, there's jet boating. But now they've surpassed themselves with this. It's a plane that has no wings. It hangs from a network of cables that are strung out between two hills. And it has an engine with a propeller on the back, so you can control it and steer it. They call it fly-by-wire.
It's not that hard to fly. You just run out of airspeed and turn, and you can concentrate on the shattering thrill of doing 80 miles an hour just 4 feet from the ground in places. It's funny, isn't it? How a human being is clever enough to build a machine like this, and yet we're stupid enough to risk everything by going for a fly in it. I love it!
Odd, isn't it? I'm back now exactly where I started from, and yet I'm fizzing. After 5 minutes on this thing, I feel alive. So why do we get a buzz? Well, the primitive part of the human brain is designed to cope with danger. It's designed to make danger fun, something that we like. Quite simply, it thinks my TVR is a lion. Easy mistake to make. It's the sensations a sports car creates that trick the brain. Sports cars are lower to the ground, so with the nose snorting the white lines off the road, it feels like you're going faster. They're louder too, and you get buffeted by the wind. These sensations make our brain dish out the pleasure chemicals, our body's own brand hard drugs. Once they helped us fight, but now they just give us a thrill.
I was high as a kite in New Zealand, and I'm high as a kite now. Speed is a drug, and the faster you go, the bigger your fix.
Good use. First stop, Switzerland. The Cresta Run is home to the cream of the British establishment, who come here every year to put their lives on the line for the love of speed. 150 years ago, men were going down the mountain here on their stomachs at 70 miles an hour. And back then, that was as fast as man had ever been. It's great fun, but it's also unbelievably dangerous.
From the moment you start to the moment you get down there, you're just hanging on for dear life.
The trouble is that the human body is simply not designed to do 70 on a tea tray, as the club chairman, Colonel Digby Willoughby, points out in his pre-race pep talk.
Right, gentlemen, welcome to the St. Moritz Tobogganing Club at the Cresta Run. Now, on this whole matter of safety, one of our riders, a doctor, has put onto this the X-rays of bits of metal that have been and are in the bodies of just 7 members of our committee. Gentlemen, these are nothing to do with motor car accidents or anything like that. These are all accidents on the Cresta Run. That's our president's foot, Lord Bledisloh's foot, your instructor's left femur and right femur. That's Urs Schwarzenbach's back, a very recent one. That's Preston Rabel's arm. And up here you see William Shipton's wired-up jaw. And gentlemen, those 3 bits of metal there are 3 of the 5 bits of metal that still connect my head to my body.
A severed head? Oh, that's nothing. With a bit of effort, you can do much better.
I came out last year determined to defend my title and tried to defend it a bit too eagerly and came out very heavily on Bravazin. The ground where I landed was rather harder than it is this year, and 12 broken bones and a cardiac arrest and 2 collapsed lungs later, I'm very glad to be back and in reasonably good shape, although I'm a bit slow and I can't run, and I'm not riding this year, but I'll be back to ride next year.
Having gathered yourself to yourself, raise both arms and cross the chest. The point, gentlemen, is your shoulders are all right, and you are capable of carrying your toboggan. And by the way, if you've broken a wrist, you're allowed to do that, but I really want to see these shoulders being crossed with the arms.
Open junction, open junction.
So, they've listened to all the advice, but are they going home? No.
I mean, look at him.
In the straw.
Look at him. All that risk just for a cheap thrill. He's not going to be any stronger. He's not going to be any wiser. His children aren't going to be any
Are you all right,
less hungry.
Okay, it's up and apparent down harm.
Isn't it great to be a human? Really?
1, 2, 3, boom!
Of course, you might think that to ride the Cresta Run you have to be mad. But no. You just need to be British and have a stiff upper lip.
It's actually a very small injury.
It's not a small injury. It's got a sausage stuck on the end of your hand.
I've had a few Bloody Marys now, so it's quelled the pain.
Are you hurt?
Yeah, I've cracked 2 ribs, and, so taking breath is quite difficult still.
You've already got a head full of steel.
I've got a little plate there, yeah.
This is impressive stuff. Small wonder the Empire survived so long with this lot in charge.
It's all part of this experience.
You're all insane.
You won't find me on a toboggan, however. I don't trust anything that doesn't have an engine. like it, motor racing. The clear air of the Alps and the heroics of the Cresta Run are nothing when placed beside the sound and smell of a finely tuned engine, and the pure skill, the fingertip control and lightning reactions of the top drivers. Now, the very best driver in the world is Formula One champion Michael Schumacher. So, how do my reactions compare to his?
You ever play slapsies?
Yeah, we can.
Go on then. Let's just see if I've got the same reaction times as you have. You know how to do this?
I guess, yeah.
You want to go first?
After you.
Ha! 1-0.
No, I'm.
Oh, it's your turn, OK.
Yeah, you missed it. Isn't it like this?
All right. Softly? Ooh. Ooh, that was only a fingernail, that one. OK, let me just try it with you, OK? Watch my eyes.
Okay.
I'd call that a draw. Unfortunately, though, Michael said we couldn't have a race as his Ferrari had a puncture. Yeah, right. However, a trip out to the woods gave me a chance to prove myself for real. Former World Rally Champion Colin McRae could hopefully give me a few tips. He can even drive while performing a river dance routine with his feet. Colin had agreed to let me have a go in his car, but he warned me that to succeed in motor racing, you need a lot of practice. But hold on a minute. If experience and practice is all that matters, then I should be able to thrash the pants off Colin. I mean, I've been driving since before he was born. He is a whippersnapper. Do you mind? Do you mind just stepping out, please? Let me show you how it should be done by someone who's older and clever and a little more seasoned, and get yourself a haircut. Have a good chat.
Let's see how long this lasts.
Oh, dear.
Years of practice have made me so good that you could almost mistake me for Sterling Moss's secret love child. See how I hook the car into the curb there and feel the tail coming out? Whoa. No big deal. Really no big deal at all. Just a little dab of the handbrake to get around this one, I think. Yes, there we go. See the majesty. No. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. I've gone off, everybody. Oh, it's shaken up. Just got a damaged ego, I think.
Maybe my true talents lie elsewhere. This is more like it. Time for me to join the real heroes and check out what it takes to become a fighter pilot. But before taking a trip to pilot school, my doctor suggested I had some experience of what I was letting myself in for. The world of high-speed, high-altitude flying is full of natural dangers, let alone the ones made by man. The first, which is one faced by civil airliners too, is a lack of air up there on the edge of space. We're always told that if the cabin suddenly loses pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the ceiling. We put them on, we tug the cord, and then we fit them to our children. It all sounds very orderly and serene. But I've come here to an RAF base in Bedfordshire to find out what really happens. This is a decompression chamber. And inside we've put a tray of typical airline food to see what happens when disaster strikes. Ready? Now, what happened there is that as the cabin decompressed, little bits of air trapped in the food suddenly expanded, causing it to explode. So what about the air in your body? In your lungs, in your gut, trapped underneath your fillings? What happens to that? Well, there's only one way to find out. Someone has got to go in there.
Okay, close chamber outer doors.
That's it, we're trapped in here.
We're trapped in now.
PRD checks.
Chamber altitude.
All valves.
All valves are closed.
Console checks are complete.
What's that balloon for?
It's going to expand. It'll just demonstrate the air expansion, and it will expand.
So air trapped in my body, like
Yes,
in the food.
it will expand.
Will expand and need to come out.
I want you to be breathing out, because otherwise your lung is going to be expanding and you won't be getting rid of the air.
Check 8000. It's like climbing Everest in one short, sharp shot. We can bang him up in 12 seconds.
Stand by.
Yes,
Stand by for
yeah.
rapid decompression.
Right.
In 5,
4, 3,
2, 1.
now. And there they go.
Air is pouring out of me.
5 seconds.
Lots of noise.
Where's all this mist come from?
10 seconds.
That's the condensation.
15 seconds. Close now. 120.
Oh, this is embarrassing. I think I've just become the first presenter on British television to fart live on air.
So, I didn't explode like a yoghurt and my fillings were fine. But then they gave me a toddler toy to play with.
Which are a simple children's toy.
And I really couldn't do it. With the lack of oxygen, I was dying. And do you know what? It felt good.
You don't look like you care.
Most people find it very giggly, quite a bit of fun, really. A bit like being drunk. Except with this one, there's no hangover.
And you're laughing away.
Am I really suffering from oxygen deprivation now?
Yes, you're showing the early signs.
Where does this one go?
He's not coping too well with that puzzle ball now.
What scope are you trying to put in there? Okay, you really can't do that anymore. Put your mask on now. Put your mask on.
He's being told what to do, but he's not managing to do it. He's not doing it himself.
Are you with me? You've now got oxygen restored to you.
And he's got a lovely pink colour now. That's the oxygen getting back into the system, all the increased blood flow rushing around.
I felt, I don't know how I felt. I mean, this is normal now, so if I'd have got the oxygen mask on, I'd be fine.
You'd be fine all through.
But if I hadn't got the oxygen mask on, what would have happened to me eventually?
Well, you'd have died.
Really?
Yes. You'd run out of what we call the time of youthful consciousness. You weren't really capable of putting your own mask on.
No, the most embarrassing thing is I think I farted on air.
Yeah, I did as well.
Really?
You could smell it, I couldn't.
Even so, I'd survived, but this was only the beginning. If the lack of oxygen doesn't kill you, what about G-forces?
Rotate. Pull on 2 Gs right on up.
We all feel the effects of mild G in fast lifts or on fairground rides. But in a plane, it's so bad, it can kill you. So, to find a solution, scientists built this giant salad spinner.
G will effectively increase the weight of the body, so that at 5G you feel 5 times heavier. G can be fatal, and in simple terms, you can stop the blood flow to the brain, and that can kill you.
This chap is now at 5G in the machine, and after just 6 seconds, his brain is so starved of blood, he goes unconscious.
Oh, down, 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 Andy. Oh, went a bit doolally there, mate.
Now, he was a young, fit pilot. So how would a chain-smoking 40-year-old cope in there? Well, to find out what we need is a chain-smoking 40-year-old. Me.
Is it safe?
Yes, climb aboard and mind the buckle as you sit down.
Have I got to be strapped in?
Yes.
You know, I'm really quite scared about
No,
it.
don't worry about it. Your heart rate will be monitored at all times.
When do you stop it? When it gets to what?
When it's a straight line.
Stop, I'm gonna die. I just know I'm going to die.
No, you'll sit back and enjoy the ride.
Out, gone. And I'm gonna clench my buttocks when it gets bad.
If at any time
You want to stop, then you call out down, 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 and we'll stop it. You may feel slightly nauseous. Nothing you can do about it.
Just be British about it.
very much so.
Right.
If you're happy with all that, then we'll set up the
Run and start.
Go ahead. Let's feel what this G business is.
Okay.
Stand by. Prepare.
That's easy. That's not so easy.
He's not quite sure what to expect, and I think it's probably coming as a bit of a surprise to him.
God, it's like having an elephant sitting on my chest.
The blood is actually draining away from his brain at this point. All the organs in his body as well are feeling heavy, including the heart, so that tends to descend about an inch or so and change his shape into some pear shape.
I'm going to try and lift my arm up now.
His body weight at the moment is heading towards about a third of a ton. You can see quite clearly the effect of the increased G is dragging the soft tissues of his face down, so that it's actually getting a very saggy, rather sort of elderly appearance. I'm not at all convinced he's enjoying himself here.
I would not be able to fly an aeroplane feeling like that.
So, my body was weak, but my mind was still strong. So it was time for me to take the fighter pilot selection test.
In the olden days, choosing a pilot used to be so very easy. I have here a copy of the Lancet, the medical journal from 1917, which was just about when the RAF was being founded. And it said that there should be a certain atmosphere about the man. He should be a public schoolboy, used to an open-air life, not a clerk. He should be a cavalryman or a jockey or a hunting man, and that he should have a riotous evening at least twice a month. Amazingly, to test a potential pilot's hand-eye coordination, they use this machine, which was designed in the 1930s to test London bus drivers. What you have to do is turn this wheel here so that you drive over as many of the little dots as you possibly can. Only 40% of applicants actually pass this test, but as you can see, I'm Baron von Richthofen, Douglas Bader, Cruz, Tom. Look at this, it's mainly, I missed one, I'm stunning. Whoops.
But that was then. Now, the RAF don't want to waste taxpayers' money on training any old riffraff. To keep out the rubbish, they have devised a fiendishly difficult computer program.
Press the right blue key.
Dick Woodhead of the testing centre was my instructor.
Going past them.
What, these diagonals, yeah?
Right. You can only cancel. The job is to cancel the objects, but you can only do it when they're hidden completely in their own coloured stripe by hitting the appropriate coloured key.
Oh, I see. So this red one comes along.
Hit the red key.
And then I get the yellow
scored a
key.
point. Yellow, green. Very simple.
Yellow key, green key. Yeah. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Now, in among doing that...
Yes, easy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
It's going to ask you to do some sums.
3 times 3, yes.
So you use
47.
the number key to enter the answer.
There's more things coming. Hold on a minute. Just a minute.
Every so often, the computer is going to ask you to recognise a string of letters.
Well, all of those?
Keeping cancelling your colours.
I am.
Oh, dearie me. It seems that a public school education is of no help anymore. To do this, you need to be able to rub your head, pat your tummy, and solve complex mathematical equations.
Look at the speed of that red one!
All at the same time.
PHFRG it was. There's only XJ. I missed it.
It's a test that will discriminate between the very good and the average and the very bad.
3 times 3 equals...
Try 9.
Green and a yellow and 9. Where is a 9? Wait. No.
2, 1, now.
Yellow. You got it, right. What's that 455 do?
Well, that's what you put in just now.
What the hell is the speed of the yellow one? How are you supposed to stop that? I forgot to look at the letters. It means Z.
Each of those tasks is actually very simple on its own. What it's trying to find out about you is, can you sort out which one to do when?
Is there an ejector seat handle on this? We just get out. If I press B, does that mean I've shot down one of my own planes? It turns out, doesn't it, that the best people at this are women.
They tend to be better at this sort of multiple...
It's on again.
...tasking and be able to do...
Stay calm.
Concentrate.
4 times 4 is 16. I will get to that in a minute.
And prioritise among different things rather better, yes.
S.
Dick told me that I'd got the lowest score they'd ever seen. But rather than kick me out, they decided to give me one last chance. If I could survive a ride with one of their top pilots, they might still take me on. I've come to the only place in the world that teaches pilots how to get a spinning fighter back in control. Forget Top Gun. This is way beyond that. This is the Empire Test Pilot School in Wiltshire. These flyboys who've come from air forces all over the world are the best of the best. So who's the superhero then? Nope. It's the little bald Welsh bloke, squadron leader Rhys Williams.
OK, Jeremy, so what we're going to do is we're going to be about 42,000 feet. I'm going to pull the stick fully back, stall the aircraft. I'm going to kick full rudder, and then we're going to be departed into the spin, and
Crashing.
we will be spinning. Hopefully we're not going to crash. We may well be in the vertical, and then we're going to recover to about 25,000 feet.
Right.
That'll be fun then.
It won't.
You're spinning, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I wouldn't want to go spinning.
Really?
No, I would not.
Have you done this spinning then?
Yes.
Is it unpleasant? Will I be sick?
There's a possibility.
It doesn't fit. I can't go. There's no
Can't
helmet.
you?
No, it's just not big enough.
Perhaps you haven't prized it open enough.
That's a shame. Still, never mind.
No, we got another one. Sit down, please.
Is it ready? It certainly is. Let's have a look.
Well, this is it. You just sign a plane out. Like I do this.
Well, first we check that it's serviceable. Got all the right bits on it.
Unlikely, since this is the plane we'll be using. It's a Hunter. It's 43 years old, and yep, that yellow stuff on the wing is araldite.
Air brake, 15% micro switch not working. Not to be used on the ground. No anti-G system available.
cockpit too stiff to operate?
We sorted those out.
And that's this week.
Please, God, let Reese be as good a pilot as everyone says he is.
Anytime I'm not happy, I'll tell you. I'll say eject, eject, eject. Don't be there on the third one.
No, I wasn't planning to be there on the eject of the first one, actually.
Ready? Nose wheel off.
Oh.
At 41,000 feet, the terror would begin. Reese would start the most extreme manoeuvre you can do in a plane.
Oh, look, there's where are we now? Bristol Channel?
Panama Sea. Fuel is good, engine's good, mechanization is holding up.
Just as long as the tail plane doesn't come off.
TM 15 seconds.
What?
Okay, 15 seconds.
Oh, no.
3, 2, 1, now. Hold.
What's happening?
Rolling. Off.
Ah! Ah!
270, full back.
However frightening you think this looks, take it from me, in the cockpit, it's 1,000 times worse. And yet Reese wasn't just sitting there grunting. He was working the problem, sorting it out, saving our lives.
No hesitation there. Okay, it's deepening on the sea. Doesn't want to go. Oh, it's going. 270, full back, full over, forward, stick something. That's nice, thank you. It's a slow recovery, and now it's recovered. 74 recovered.
Oh, sorry.
That's coming up. Engine looks good. And we're accelerating.
How did you do that? My whole world's just falling apart.
340.
How did you even know which way is up?
A bit of practice.
You're just looking at the instruments.
Look at the instruments, looking outside as well, but trying to make sense of what's going on and what I need to do.
I don't know how you, I just don't know how you do it. I am so impressed with that.
As the plane touched down, I suspected that the Air Force wasn't for me. I was destroyed by my flight, which made me wonder. People like Reese, have they got a special mindset? Are they born to put the hammer down while the rest of us throw up?
Do you lead an amazing life then away from this? Do you have to...
I think surprisingly boring, probably.
Really? So what do you do then of an evening?
Maybe take the dog for a walk or go out with my children.
What car do you drive?
A Volvo Estate.
Why?
Because it's safe, very reliable, and also...
You don't drive a safe car.
You do that for a living and you drive a safe car?
Well, that's me sorted out. I can't be a fighter pilot because I don't drive a Volvo. So, back to the snow for a ride with the British Army bobsleigh team. This may look a great deal less scary than a spinning fighter jet, but remember, a bobsleigh has no engine.
And this is what I'll be riding in. About as sturdy as a video rental box, only I suspect a little bit faster. Kind of coffin-shaped, isn't it, really?
Then I found out that the ride is so vicious, my driver, Corporal Rob Hinton, wouldn't be able to see where he was going, and therefore had to rehearse the course in his mind before we set off. My prediction of what would happen out there, however, was somewhat different.
We'll be dead long before that, mate.
To make me even more nervous, Rob thought that the night before the run, I ought to see the course.
That's the Kreisel, big corner.
That's a huge corner. It's like a wall of death. It's 360 degrees.
Of the actual track.
It's completely vertical.
It is. I mean, if you get it wrong, you're actually inverted.
So you'll be upside down?
Yeah, you'll be pretty much like this sort of position. But we don't want to be there.
How tall is it?
Oh, it must be best part of 20 feet, I should think.
But if we turn over tomorrow, the ice is going to be rubbing on my shoulder blades.
Yes, it could.
And is that very painful?
Yes, it is. You can lose a heck of a lot of skin. I've actually seen a bobsleigh hit the top of the corner, turn round and come out of the corner on all four runners backwards. But there's always a possibility that you're going to turn. I mean, Jeremy, I'd be lying if I said to you that we were guaranteed to get down on all four runners tomorrow. I would be lying to you.
Well, you can't guarantee that we'll make the bottom in one piece.
You can never guarantee it.
The next morning, I went to meet the rest of the team.
These are the chaps.
Yeah. These are the boys. Neil Armstrong.
Morning. How do you do? Neil Armstrong.
He's GP1 in the juniors.
You were the one that crashed yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm going down with two guys who crashed?
Yeah.
Oh, that is cheerful.
I thought you'd done your hamstring.
I've been told that it's had the most fatalities in any other track because people don't respect it.
This track?
Yeah.
They were coming on the finish bend. His neck hit the wall and severed his neck. And stopped the bobsleigh with his neck.
His head was hanging on by a thread.
So, would this run breach my limits? Would I find out what it feels like to be truly scared?
No! Come on! Quick! Oh!
Not too fast, guys. Don't crash, please. Go. Here we go. Right. I think we're now underway on our own. Acceleration's pretty gentle at the moment. Coming up to the first little corner now. That's relatively bearable. Here we go into the first big turn. Oh, we're on our side. Okay. That's not too bad. That's, oh, that's getting really edgy through there. Oh, we've really got some big speed here. Oh, the big turn there. Gee, that's a G like being a chef. This is the big one. This is big. Just,
That was a slow one. We were only probably doing about 70, 75 miles an hour.
When I got my head back on the right way round, it was suggested that maybe team sports weren't my thing. So, I went to meet a gang of quite extraordinary men who like to wear rubber. Welcome to the world of speed skiers. What the participants do is scour the globe for the straightest, steepest bit of mountain they can find, and then they build an even steeper bit on the top.
There are about 200 speed skiers in the world. About 5 of us are qualified to go off that tower.
Now that is what a scientist would call really
very steep indeed. Any steeper and you may as well ski off the side of a skyscraper. But then it has to be that steep if you want to become the fastest man-powered man on Earth.
Speed skiing is about acceleration, because I'm going to 0 to 100 miles per hour in about 7 seconds, 0 to 150 in about 15 seconds. It's amazing intensity. The wind is trying to rip you apart.
But at 150 miles an hour, as speed skier Jeff Hamilton found out, things can go badly wrong.
Crashing on speed skis is one of the most terrifying things I can imagine. Broke 3 bones in my back, slid for 600 yards, put burn holes in my knee, burn holes in my elbow. It happens so quickly, you don't know what's going to happen. You're skiing and you're crashing.
There we go. To try and understand the problems these speed skiers have, I thought I'd give it a go. 150 miles an hour. That's my target. .8 miles an hour. It's obviously broken. Realistically, though, I was never going to reach 150 on the slopes. So to get a taste of the speed skiers' problems, now, we've all stuck our arm out of the window of a car that's doing 70. But what I've done is come to the wind tunnel where they tested the original model of Concorde to find out what it's like to have your whole body exposed to a headwind of 150 miles an hour.
He's not going to be a happy bunny at all.
This place is a health and safety man's worst nightmare.
You'll end up back there.
Well, is that why you're tying me to the ceiling?
Yeah.
Am I tied now, then?
Yeah.
That's chips if you go through that, isn't it?
That's like a cheese grater.
No, I wouldn't want to be there. I would imagine he's going to feel very, very battered.
I've got my fetching Robocop knee pads on.
And probably have breathing difficulties in before that.
Okay, boys. Yeah. You want to turn it on, or whatever it is you do? It started.
We're now at 30 miles an hour. That's classed as a strong breeze. It's certainly a good day for flying your kite.
Heavens above, isn't it? 50 miles an hour now.
At 60 miles per hour, that's classed as storm force. And that's the sort of wind speed when you start getting trees uprooted.
I can hardly move anything. Oh, my God. This is unbelievable.
90 miles per hour, that's when buildings and bridges start to collapse.
This is the most stupid thing I've ever done.
At 100 miles per hour, you're looking at the average takeoff speed of a light aircraft. At 130 miles per hour, well, we're completely into the realms of the unknown.
And that was as much as I could take.
How in the name of the Holy Father do speed skiers do that? I've been undressed. I feel naked as a jaybird! How do they do it?
Well, they don't wear anoraks and John Boy Walton trousers for a kickoff. They're a bit more scientific. They come to wind tunnels to practice the perfect stance, so they don't take off. And all their equipment is specially designed to cause the least amount of drag. The helmet, for instance, is copied from one of the most aerodynamically efficient shapes in nature, a trout's head.
My helmet here is basically to protect my head, but also to provide an aerodynamic device. It begins the airflow around my body, encompassing my head and my shoulders.
The fetching suit is just 0.5 millimeter thick. It's copied from an Ann Summers catalogue.
I've built these aerodynamic special cones on the front of my grips to actually pierce the air. This fairing here keeps the airflow clean around the back of my leg. The airflow comes through and detaches cleanly off the back of the fairing.
This kit makes a huge difference. Without it, they couldn't even get up to 100 miles an hour. With it, the world's best can smash past 150. But after my experience in the wind tunnel, I don't think I'll be joining them. So what in this jammed-up world is the future for speed? And what's the future for me now I know I can't be a racing driver or a fighter pilot or a skier? Well, it's good news if you want to go fast, because I've discovered a group of people who are a bit less picky than the RAF.
Morning.
Morning.
Do you think it would be possible to go and do some flying?
It costs $795.
Bye-bye, Los Angeles. Bye-bye, traffic jam. My hand is on the stick. Am I flying?
Yes, you're flying. Look over the nose. Try to keep the nose even with the horizon.
Why is it moving around so much?
Oh, that's because you're moving your stick a little bit. It's real steady, not too tight a grip on it.
Okay, now you might think that this is a bit boring and that $800 just to fly in a straight line over California is a waste of money. Not so. Because as you can see, I have now been joined by another plane. And using this laser that I've got on the dashboard, I'm going to try and shoot him down. Sounds simple enough, except of course, he's got a laser as well. This is laser dogfighting! They really have thought of everything, these guys, because the other plane is being flown by a chap called Baron. He's a German, ladies and gentlemen. He's a German.
Lights on.
Where's he gone?
He's off to our right here. I'll thank you, your lead.
He'll come out of the sun. I know these Jerrys. I know what they're like.
For you, Tommy, the war is over.
Right, we're going to get away from him. Bye-bye. Oh, that's straight down. We're going to pull some G here. There it is. Got for them all. A few more G there. I don't see him anywhere.
He's around somewhere. He's got to be behind us.
There he goes.
No, he's on our tail.
He's going on the outside. He's going on the outside. He's in the sun. I can't see him. He's in the sun.
Die, Englander.
He's coming up. He's right up behind us.
He's coming in for the kill. He's going to get us.
No, he's not. Come on, I'm going to turn. I'm going to outturn him.
Oh, you're going to die.
Don't say I'm going to die. I want to break off. Won't this thing turn anymore?
Let's turn a little more.
Come on, sunshine. Match that.
He is getting away.
He's coming through. He's spinning out. We are close. I can feel it. I'm hit. He got me. That's 1-0 to Germany, everybody. 1-0 to Germany.
Still, you then just turn the smoke off and start round 2.
Just keep your eyes focused outside.
I am keeping my eyes focused. I'm looking for Jerry. He's out there somewhere, you know. I got him. I'm in my sights. Give me the stick.
Okay, you got the stick.
I got the stick, everybody. He's in my sights. He's getting away from me.
Oh, we're catching up. We're catching up.
We are not catching up. Okay, I'm going to get him again. I'm going to get him. Here we go. I got him. Stand. I got him. He's there. I've got him. You are history.
I am hit.
Eat lead.
Home sweet home.
Home seems very, very boring.
Oh, yeah.
That is just the most fun you can possibly have. And you know, the most amazing thing about it is that for £500, I can go up there in a plane with a laser, have a dogfight, shoot another plane down, get shot down myself, and land. We seem to have come a very, very long way in a very, very short space of time.
So what have we learned? Well, live fast, die old. Thanks for watching.
1-0.
What's happening? Oh.